Well, let's go to Moose at the movies.
One man, two desires. Drip drop and cinema.
How we doing, people? That popcorn is so damn good. It's so hard not to eat it when it's just sitting there the entire time.
What's
all right? Welcome to. It's a podcast with Frankie and I, where we talk about movies and TVs. They're also a big sponsor of Hangover Time. Yeah, we'll get you on there. We'll talk about it later. Right now, it's Moose at the movies.
You to be a sponsor, you got to cut a check, motherfucker.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Okay.
So this week, I want to take us all back to the year 1996. See, the world was a simpler time back then. Bill Clinton had just been reelected president for a second term. The Macarena was sweeping the nation as the hottest song in the country.
Hey, Macarena.
Oh! And somewhere in New York City, a 12-year-old boy named Max Connor stumbles upon a magic boombox and unlocks a 7-foot-tall black genie that had been trapped for thousands of years. That's right, people. It's time to break down the pinnacle of Shaquille O'Neal's acting career with the one, the only, Kazaam! I worked on that all day. All right. See, in 1996, Shaq had his sights set on Hollywood. Literally. He just joined the Lakers and figured it was time to make a splash on the silver screen. So, of course...
LeBron. Sorry.
Yeah, it's never been done before. So, of course, Shaq loves the kids, baby. Why not put him in a child's film? Duh. All right. On paper... Exactly. Hey, on paper, this whimsical tale is about a troubled youth dealing with the angst of puberty and the urge to reconnect with his estranged father. But at its core, it's just a fucking shitty movie with no plot, no heart, no real thought process put behind it besides just the idea of like, hey, let's put Shaq in a movie. I mean, listen to this storyline, okay? Right off the bat, we get the classic Disney single parent thing, okay? Max gets bullied from kids at school. He hates his mom's new boyfriend, which, by the way, happens to be the only nice guy in this entire movie. It's like the only guy that actually asks Max, like, hey, buddy, how you doing? How you feeling? It's the only guy that cares about him, all right? He's a firefighter, a real American hero. I lost my place, but I'm back now. Somehow his dad just happens to be back in town working at a nightclub. Some underground seedy black market scheme, like whatever the fuck that is, I don't know. It's somehow connected to the mob. What I can say about this movie, though, is that it must have been a blast for the writers. I mean, you can tell they just had like an infinite supply of cocaine on hand. It was just dramatically shifting storylines like crazy. Like, I'm just picturing the writers basically being like, all right, okay, so we got Shaq, right? And let's make him a genie. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then okay, but you know what? How about he's a genie for a 12-year-old kid, and he's a 7-foot-tall black man, and he's gonna be following him around everywhere, but nobody questions it. Yeah, that's fucking good. That's really, really good. Okay. And then what about? Okay, no, let's make him a rap star. So he's a genie, he's hanging out with kids, and he's a rapper. God damn, this is fucking good. Cheryl, we need more candy. See what the writers failed to realize? What the writers failed to realize was that we have to like the main character. Yeah, like you have to be, there for the ride and along with him and rooting for him. But this 12-year-old kid just straight up is an asshole. And as much as they try to make us like Max, I mean, it's true. It's just not happened. I mean, he was talking back to his mother the entire time. He was skipping school, wandering throughout the city late into the night. And even the way he treats his genie, he straight up says to him these exact words. So until I make my wishes, I own you.
Wow.
Really, motherfucker? Wow. Really, motherfucker? Max is basically a plantation owner with a Sega Genesis and some ripped jeans. I mean, what the fuck?
Moose, but was that not every white kid in 90s movies?
You know what? Yes, but we're focusing on this one. But come back to me on Stream Beat where we're going to do a special pod.
Because I'm thinking Jungle to Jungle and fucking a lot. That was Jonathan Taylor Thomas in every fucking movie he was ever in.
Yes. Oh my God, 90s heartthrob. Yes, totally. Totally. JTT. Yes.
I listen, everyone. I like when you do this because I get to show my range.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I'm a big fan of your work. Honestly, though, the most blasphemous part of this movie is they decide to have like a rap battle between Shaq and the little kid. And it's to a classic song called We Genie. Once again, it requires a white man to show the black man how it's done. And it's excruciating. So great job, Disney. Way to tackle the race card in 1996. Well done. Then out of nowhere, this kid tracks down his father. He just walks into some...
sorry.
It looks like him, right? It kind of looks like him. But you can see, like, he's a clearly good dad. There's a lot of love in those eyes.
That is such a 90s blazer he's got on, too.
Dude, this movie was so 90s. It was such a blast from the past. What's funny, too, is I watched it when I was a little kid, and I thought it was good. This time around, it was an excruciating watch. So he just tracks down his dad. He walks into some nightclub because, of course, a 12-year-old kid, he just has all access throughout the city. You know, why even ask a kid if they should be in a nightclub?
Did he have a skateboard?
No, he just fucking walked in. Because he's white. He's 12.
He's white.
Yeah, there you go. This piece of shit dad doesn't even recognize him because he left when the kid was 2. And we really don't even know what he does for a living. Again, he works with the mob. It's some underground black market CD scam that's worth millions. All he does is host concerts. And of course, Kazaam ends up on stage rapping. See, the mob boss somehow realizes that Kazaam is actually a genie. How? We don't know. The plot doesn't matter. Details don't matter. They just gotta hit the mark. They keep it moving. So he beats the shit out of Max's dad for information. And the son finally gives in. That's when Max tries to use up a wish on his piece of shit father. But Shaq can't do it because Kazaam is just a genie. And stuff about love and life, that's only for djinns. And yes, I feel very weird saying djinn because it feels racist. So I'm only gonna say djinn one more time. Djinn. Also, at this point, Kazaam has a record deal. That's another thing to mention. It's all over the place. And anyways, he can't do Max's bullshit wish. So while Kazaam is rapping with 90s rap royalty, Debrat, it was great. She looked fantastic. Hey, oh, it was great. It was great. The mob boss finally gets his hand on Max, and spoiler alert, he kills him. I totally forgot about this. I was shocked.
Wait, he killed who? He killed the kid?
The mob boss killed the fucking... It was the best part of the movie. It was the only time that like I sat up and like I was like, oh shit, I gotta pay attention. This shit's good. But it was the only decent part of the film. The mob boss just straight up kills a 12-year-old boy. It's fantastic.
I mean, Alf basically did that to Tyler Hero tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
The screams of Max falling down an empty elevator shaft just summon Kazaam. And at this moment, Shaq, he becomes an action star and he beats up everyone in the room. Then in some great 1996 CGI, he turns the mob boss into a basketball and slams him into a garbage can.
Is that Tony Fiorentino?
Because it's Shaq. It kind of looks like him. That's
Dennis
baby.
Farina.
Yeah, baby. So the climactic finish to this movie is that Kazaam is holding a lifeless Max in his arms. And at this moment, Shaq is beside himself, saying this stupid kid was his only friend in over 10,000 years. It's the saddest shit I've ever heard, really. And Shaq magically turns into God and just brings this kid back to life out of the love of his heart.
Well, Moose, you have to snort a line before you say Shaq turns into God.
Okay, so how are we... I just picture like the writers being like, okay, so how are we gonna get to this ending where Shaq is just is giving him back to life? I got it! So we're gonna kill the kid, all right? I'm gonna throw him down an empty shaft. I don't know what happened to my mic here. And then Shaq will be resurrected. Just like Jesus. He magically turns into God. And they have a second So Shaq says that he is now free and he's a djinn, only because Max's last wish was for his dad to have a second chance at life, and that wish was so loving that it freed him. So Max wakes up in a burning building, being rescued by.
Mose, I can't listen anymore to this.
Well, I'm on the last paragraph. This is really good.
It's
really
so
good.
fucking bad. Go ahead.
It's really good. It's really good.
So
I'm telling
bad.
you.
I've
Once
never
you
seen
get
this
to him,
movie.
no, but once you get to him turning into God, like it's really like it's a really
That did it for me. But go ahead.
It's a really joyful redemption story. You're gonna see. So Max's dad also makes it out of the burning building alive, and he literally says to Max, "I'm not making this up." He goes, "This is so weird. Your giant Fred said something to me about a second chance." And then he looks at the kid and he goes, "You're a good kid, Max. You got a big heart. But listen, I gotta go take care of some stuff and I gotta go handle some business. So I'll be back in a couple of years, all right? We'll reconvene, we'll catch up again.
Oh, man.
We'll pick up this father-son relationship in like 15 years, all right?" Kazaam isn't your typical 90s kids movie. It's barely even a movie, all right? With a Rotten Tomatoes score of 5%. And a Moose at the Movie score of -420, it will stand the test of time of one of the saddest Disney movies in their illustrious family film history, and the worst knockoff impersonation of Robin Williams' beloved Blue Genie in Aladdin. But I do gotta give credit to Shaq in one way. He will always be remembered as one of the most dominant players in the NBA and one of the most dominant box office flaps in Hollywood history. Brass, take me out.